Good morning. Been here with this kitten. I'm home because my eye is coughing and sneezing. My eye is, I guess, ruptured, the vessel. So it's red. So the lady said that to put the best thing to go away on its own, but I can do what's that, warm compresses and limit my screen time and all of that. So and rest my eye. So I was like, you know what? I got some sick leave. I'm gonna use it. It's one of the good things when your children get older. I used to have, manage my sick leave by when I had leave, and they were growing up. I managed it and used it sparingly for myself because I never know when they might be sick or need to be picked up for some whatever going on at school and have to go take them to the doctor. And now having leave, like sick leave, is like, I really got sick leave. Between doctor's visits and things of that nature. So anyway, I was sitting here. It's really in between the irking times to be alive. It is a good time to be alive because you get to see and watch some things, observe some things, and have good conversations with people that you know, right? So I was having a conversation yesterday, and we were talking. It started off with Steny Hoyer, and I said, "Well, Steny Hoyer," I said, "The shame is that when I was in elementary school at Holy Family Parochial School, Steny Hoyer was in office. So I was in at Holy Family in what, 80, what's that, the 80, let me see, I went there 4th grade. So that would have been around 82 maybe? 86? No, whatever. 84? No, because 84 I went into high school. Because I graduated 88. Whatever, it was mid 80s. I remember Steny Hoyer then. I'm 56 now, so that's when jokers just being being office too long. So conversation, my friend and I, we were talking about Steny Hoyer. And he said, well, what has he done? He did nothing. I said, well, a lot of them haven't done nothing. They've been there too long. That's why they basically don't do nothing. They done made a career out of the finesse. They know how to finesse. That's why I'm like, it's time is over for politicians. For real. I'm sick of them. But then we were talking about, he asked me, did I see the Bufo, whatever his name is. So I said, yeah, I did see a couple of signs with his name on it. So apparently Steny has endorsed Bufo. So he said, well, if he endorsing them, I guess I need to look in the opposite direction. Go Steny. Go Steny. Yeah, these jokers. I'm like, he one of them one. Van Harlen, I forgot. Van Harlen's name been around long enough to, he need to go. He want to chase margaritas around the world and have margaritas with individuals that are not citizens of the United States of America, but he wants to tell the citizens that he's a Maryland man. Okay, he might be allowed the sanctuary. He might be allowed to be aided and abetted by the Maryland state government in Maryland, but he's not a citizen of Maryland. But until people wake up to that reality, I'm really not going to keep talking. I just be talking to people in this area. Not all, but the vast majority is a dead conversation. So until they experience whatever, it's nothing to say. Because the old folks' experience really is the best teacher. It's unfortunate, but okay. But yeah, that was that conversation. So I said, well, I'm probably have to look, because I know the last time my mother, we did some looking online and searching, because she's not happy with the options that they have. Like I am in DC. I'm like, I'm not really happy with the options. But I felt like he did when he said, well, I already wasn't voting for Janice Jewish, what's her name? George Lewis. I don't know what her name is. But when I saw Trayon White endorsed, I said, "Oh yeah, that's a stamp." Because I don't know what y'all got going on. You shouldn't even been reelected. But you know, I already know what I'm dealing with. See, when you know what you're dealing with, it's like you like, okay. You hold your ground, but you already know what it is. So I know what it is. So knowing what it is, I'm gonna move on over to California real quick. California is a literal, like, when I look at places that I don't, California is always the tops of what I don't want done or want to see in America. But so many, well, it's not even many. It's just that people don't truly know, so they will go along with. If people really knew or sort of things that the media that they so love to think is informative, if they actually reported the things, I think all media should be required to report the same thing. I think the same. If something is uncovered and it's a story, it should be a story all over. It shouldn't be cases where we have this story over here and then lame brain scheme media has, alternate stories, or even they just don't report on it or make it not a story because that's not aligned with the talking points of policy, well, not even policy, agendas of the people that they support. I just think it's tragedy when I hear about, these people with their false journalistic integrity or standards. Journalistic standards, like everything else, is extinct. I have lived. See, this is the benefit, and this is what young people need to understand. Instead of y'all trying to ridicule and bash older people that have not acquiesced to you all, because we know that we should not be listening to or taking advice on certain things from youth, trying to discard or say, well, we don't know anything, or we old, or we this, that, and the other. It's a reason we're old. It's a reason why we get to grow old. Between the grace of God and learning from our mistakes and wisening up, that's why we're old. And those are the people you want to listen to. When I think back to my grandfather and people in that generation, and I'm thankful that there's still a few left, there's a few. They were sturdier of mind and spirit and ethic than what is produced today. And unfortunately, people in my generation and older have led the train wreck of what we are seeing out here today. Because when I see older people supporting wrongdoing and criminal behavior and all that other foolishness, it disgusts the heck out of me. And it makes me embarrassed to be 56. Because I'm like, you 56 too? Can't be. You a damn fool. And I see a lot of damn fools running rampant and keep talking. And then they wonder why nobody will be bothered with or be around them. We see you. That's the thing about the internet. We see you. And then y'all make yourselves seen, and you confirm that you a fool when you open your mouth. Just like the Bible verse say. So there's a lot of fools out here. So I'm like, yep, check. So who to avoid is like just growing and growing and growing. But anyway, I'm going to go to California. Because a lot of people don't understand. And because it'd be different if I didn't know some individuals in contact and speak with them in California. I don't do like other people. Oh, that's not this, that's not that. And you don't have a damn clue because you don't know nobody or talk to anybody outside of your little bubble. Or the lame brain, skittle-haired managed media. Yeah, skittle-haired managed media. So when you only rely on skittle-haired managed media, you don't know things except for them trying to glorify or lift up and edify particular people. No, you need to look at everybody and see what's going on. You need to watch other channels and see what they're saying about the same people. And then you need to go and look at where these people actually are governing. when you look at where these people are governing, the only conclusion you can come up with is it's a mixture of not only insane policies, especially when it comes to elections, but ignorant ass voters. So Spencer Pratt, shout out to him. I've been rooting for him from DC. Because I'm like, something has got to give. The homelessness, the constant, I've been seeing people upset that they still haven't got the permits done. I know the president had went and, I thought him and Bass I thought they had worked out something where they would, want to ease up some restrictions on the permit, something for people to start rebuilding. It's just a shame. The whole homelessness funding and the fraud and the homelessness situation, the hyper concern for people that are illegally here in this country over citizens, both legalized and birthed here, to be sidelined by criminals and illegals is crazy to me. But you can see it in the policies and how they're allowing criminals and illegals to be the focus of everything over the taxpayers. The only thing they think about taxpayers for is to tax them so they can take their money and waste it on what they have been funding and giving away to make dependency great. But I remember a couple of years ago, I was like, well, what is, and I'm sorry to DC, and I'm like, DC doesn't even need ranked choice voting, honestly. Because we only have, it's not like, you got a majority Democrat place. The few independents and Republicans, we have nothing. We just here disgusted, basically. Looking to either accept the fate of limitations by the limited or looking to go elsewhere, right? So you don't really need ranked choice voting. So I'm like, how is this going to work? There's no competition, honestly. They just competing amongst themselves. They all the same model. They only offer maybe a little bit of something different. They're not good on crime. They're not good on nothing. And honestly, all they good at is going against God in their policies. And they don't really have any policies except for destruction. Because when all you can talk about is the nonsense these people talk about, and you have to rely on, see, they're not talking about results. They're always talking about some nonsense. Looking at somebody else, that's not a policy. Saying that supporting curfews is dangerous for teenagers, that's not policy, and it's ignorant and stupid. And that's that stupid feminine energy that we don't need more of. But then you have the flip side with the males. It's not really nothing because they're not fully masculine. But I will say, I think the only person that didn't support extending the curfew was George Lewis, whatever name is. So when you have people like that, I don't want to see no more of them. Then I look at California, how they over there they got smash and grabs during the day, just videos with them criminals busting into people's shops and robbing them. I look at Seattle, Washington, you got the residents out there barricading their own streets to try to stop shootings, being overrun by criminals. But they support, but with their mindset, they don't understand why they have the crime. Because when you sanctuary criminal policies and illegal activity, that's what you're going to get. And that's the same thing with DC, Maryland, and Virginia. I can't, for the life of me, I can't get nobody in this area but a few people, a handful, thank God for them, to understand when you approve and align and all you thinking, oh, well, all you're doing is switching out one dusty, skittle-haired, led individual for another. So you're getting the same policies. Just a different identity. You got to get out. I told my friend, I said, what you do. But we got to get past stupid. I don't need you talking to me in terms of I'm a black woman, because trust me, I'm not the black woman that you think. I'm not like them. Okay? I'm really not. I'm really not. And proud of it. Because the more, like I said, the more people open their mouth, it's like, okay, it's a whole lot of food falling out. No wisdom, just food. But yet you wonder why 15-year-olds out here playing with guns and shooting their friends. Or a 40-year-old something man up in Baltimore with the safe streets is arrested for shooting somebody. 13-year-old boy in Chicago, I think it was Chicago, because Chicago's a hot mess too. Another place to look at to be like, no, whoever's running Chicago, I don't want none of them near me. See, if you actually go and look, and you actually watch council hearings in other states and cities, and you watch and look at what the actual citizens and residents are putting out there about their frustrations over crime and how they're not doing anything. The mayor of Chicago has a 150-person police detail, but he can't stand the police and don't want nothing to do with the police, or disrespectful to the police, doesn't support them the way he should, has dumbed down the laws. They can't do this, that, and the other, but the residents are paying the price. He don't pay the price because he got all that security detail, and then they got to pay all that money for the security detail, but they not protected. Why are you better than them? Why they can't handle protection? A young man who was an entrepreneur and a chef was shot and killed. Well, he was one of two people. Well, I don't know how many at the weekend total, but I know early, what was that, Friday or Saturday, they was discussing the fact that the young man was shot and killed, and he was an entrepreneur, is involved in several businesses, and he was a chef. So, and then I saw it was another man in another state. It's always somewhere, but they don't show these stories because all the victims are not all black. And then if they not being killed, oh boy. Anyway, I'm gonna keep this clean today. This is what you have done, people. You can't blame a politician. You can't blame this, that, and the other. Stupidity and foolishness. Walking with fools. Trading the knowledge of God. As I always say, this is what you have done. Offering up the children on the altar of transgender and inclusivity. But everything, y'all not inclusive. Because you can't include everything, but y'all don't include the things that you should include. Like common sense. Decency and order. So y'all just want to exclude the Christians, the actual Christians. I'm not talking about the fake Iftrins and the other kinds of Christians like Jamal Bryant and James Tallarico. I'm not talking about them. The Kurt Franklin twerking on peoples and Yolanda Adams, the hijacked Christianity, the witchianity, the Iftrin, Skintrin-ianity. I'm talking about actual Christianity that's biblically based. Y'all don't want to include that because it brings light to sin. The sins that we love and hold on to. Now, we all have sin battles. Even people that believe in God. We do. Because we're fallen nature. The nature of man is fallen. But you have a sick, twisted mentality running rampant in the fake, bastardized version of Christianity, where you think that Christianity or the word of God or God is not open to all people. God came that the gospel was spread from one end of the earth to the other. So that means it covers any and everybody. He came to save all. Not some, not just the people that you approve of, the people that look like you, vote like you, or think as limitedly as you. He came for everybody. So when he came for everybody, because if we limit God to just the people that you say, I don't think you'd be included either. Because God said, as I forgave you. But you don't know that because y'all don't get word where you go. Because if you got word where you go, we wouldn't see all the nonsense and the malice and bitterness and backbiting and false witnessing and lying and hate speaking. Because I don't like that person. I don't like them. They ain't this. They ain't that. I don't like them. God ain't doing this. God ain't that. They don't know God. They don't. You don't know who knows God. We know that you don't. Because you're miserable and you want to spread it. So while you're sitting there being miserable and spreading it, you're aligning with foolish policies. Policies like, my name is Ralph, but I was born Rita. Men could use the girls in women's bathroom, even if a little child is in it. You can have secret gender closets, because I'm saying that now because the cat is out the bag. People have been talking about it. I've been posting and sharing and talk about it. So if it's still happening and nobody's standing against it, and you keep aligning with the people that are doing it, that means you're allowing it. So we need to look at you, because you don't know God. That's not what God is for. That's not what he's with. We are to offer the gospel to everyone, but we cannot allow them to do any and everything or to think it's cute and to infest and contribute to the delinquency of children. God said train the children up in the way they should go. The way they should go is the way that he prescribed and outlined. We have not taught the children the faith. We have not talked to them about the things that God has done in our lives. We have not instilled and set the light or the word as a lamp unto their feet and a light unto their path. We are a failure. And yet again, I want to blame older people. And I want to blame you for the conditions running around. If it's a whole bunch of poop on the street and the children are illiterate as heck. We sitting there, they talking about a recession of literacy. Is that what they calling it now? I don't care what you call it. It's illiterate children. But no, I don't see nobody fussing or going off about that. All I see is people just out here supporting and applauding criminality. But you don't support it when it hits home. When it becomes you. When you become the victim, that's when you don't support it. Or you won't support it when it's you. So buckle up, people, because you're asking for it. If California elections were above board, you wouldn't be counting into the night and all days and anything that looks suspicious. If you want to avoid the look of suspicion, you don't do the suspicious. It's no reason why in this day and age. I can see back in the day when, we didn't have, but then again, it is a reason. I guess some of the voters, they probably, as ignorant and illiterate, probably go to the public schools out there. They probably haven't been taught, because I know a lot of schools, they just pass you along. They're not teaching, so they probably can't count. But they don't have a computer set up to do the counting. Why are you picking up ballots all hours of day and night? If you sent out ballots early, it should be by election day. If they not postponed for election day, it should be no more. It needs to be a hard cutoff and a deadline, because it makes no sense. So damn right people are questioning it, because it's insane. It's insane to go days on end. Because what they want to do, and then I know some people are like, well, I can't believe. Nobody really, listen, And the other thing that people need to understand, when you want to destroy a population and people, you do just what is being done. It's not by design. It's not just who keeps making and keep committed to throwing money at policies that fail. But yet the voters sit and buy them, taxing them and making their checks smaller while they spend the money inefficiently, and then nothing is ever fixed. That's because they're running to be career politicians, aka Steny Hoyer, Nancy Pelosi, Maxine the Prune Waters, Jim Clyburn, Mitch Turtleneck McConnell, Harry Reid before he was finally voted out. They run to be career. How can you have a career in something? You got to make it a career. So if you got to make it a career, it can't never be. Because once you solve a problem, shouldn't you be going on to another situation? Like, if you fix dependency and homelessness, illiteracy, then you can go on to something else. But no, they want to keep everything, and then illiteracy is really working well. Because the people don't know what to think anyway. See, me, I'm going to ask too many questions. And I'm going to make other people start thinking. Well, not other people, because I'm around a lot of people, and they still ain't thinking yet. But it's something that's really, they like, oh, well, let me get your... I appreciate that. Because you know, I'm going to think about something. I'm going to give you another perspective. And then a lot of times they look at something differently. Look at things differently. Whether they want to realize it or not. You need people that's not thinking the same way as you. So you know something to compare something to and to be like, no, I'm not. And even if you stick with it, at least you heard another thought. And maybe that'll help you grow. You might not move a needle, but it might help you grow a little bit. We have people that's not growing in any shape, form, or fashion. But they're always talking. Avoid those people. Now I need to go look up something. Jesus, what is... Let me see. Trucking. Oh, I need to call FMCSA because I got a question on this form that needs to be updated. So I won't have to hurt that joke. Yeah, but California, they got so much stuff going on out there that need to be looked at. And the election's just one. But I believe that there is some fraud going on. But then it's also stupidity. People want to stay. They don't like the conditions, but because the narrative is you have to stick with it. Because of somebody's identity. Identity doesn't guarantee results. And that's what people need to get the heck away from. So I'm not surprised at what's going on. I think it's a mix of some cheating. Because they want to do socialism. They already doing it practically in California anyway. But they want to do it. They want to do these things. They don't want to make a change in the crime as much as y'all can. You know why they're not going to make a change? Because you're still voting for them. So you can complain about the crime, the drugs, the poop in the streets, the tents, the whatever. But as long as you continue to vote for them and you don't give them no competition, no nothing, they're going to do it. So I'm not shocked at the stupidity of California, no more than I am of D.C., Maryland, or Virginia.